You're watching Filter Kaapi. My name is Sudhir. Over the past 1 month, many students have been demanding the postponement of both the JEE and the NEET, which are scheduled for the month of September 2020. They were expecting a legal reprieve from the Supreme Court, which did not happen, which said that the exams must be conducted on schedule. And now they're expecting that the Prime Minister of India will intervene and decide to postpone these two big ticket entrance examinations. But in this video, I am on the point of whether these examinations can at all take place in a satisfactory manner, in a manner that emphasizes and takes care of the safety of these 25 lakh plus aspirants, about 8 to 9 lakh for JEE and another 16 lakh for NEET. That is, if the NTA and the Education Ministry, despite all the pressure being mounted, decide to go ahead with the conduct of the examinations in September. Now, why do I raise this question? That's because the major issue, apart from of course the fear of contracting the infection, given the fact that social distancing has been given the go by at many of the examination centers, especially outside the examination centers, is the problem of transportation. Public transport is still not back on track. Trains and buses are not plying, and the question being raised is, what is the NTA doing to ensure that the students and the invigilators can actually reach the examination center safely? Okay, safely being the operative word. Now, how can the government not ensure transport? Now, that will be a fundamental question that needs to be asked, and yet expect students to take the examination on the date that they choose to fix. Isn't it the government's responsibility, state governments as well as central government's responsibility, to ensure that each one of those nearly 25 lakh candidates do not face any problem traveling to the examination center and back from the examination center? And if it cannot ensure that that is observed, isn't it being unfair to those students who will actually struggle to reach the examination center on time and safely? Now, the NTA press release on the 21st of August, if you observe, said that it has written to all the chief secretaries and the DGPs of all states, asking them to facilitate movement of candidates and examination functionaries, as well as do and help in the crowd management outside the examination centers. But the question I am raising is whether this cooperation will indeed be extended by every state in India, given the fact that chief ministers like Mamata Banerjee, Naveen Patnaik today, Arvind Kejriwal, ministers like Aditya Thackeray of Maharashtra, all of them, mind you, in non-BJP ruled states, have openly requested for the examinations to be postponed. With the Congress also supporting the demand, we saw the tweet from Rahul Gandhi, leaders like Shashi Tharoor have been very vocal. You can expect the same in Congress ruled states as well. So would governments in Bengal, Orissa, Delhi, Maharashtra, Punjab, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh actually ensure and follow what the NTA has requested the chief secretaries and the DGPs of those states to do? Also, it's been 4 days since the press release was issued. We would like to know what is actually happening on the ground. The students have the right to know. They need to know whether the candidates have got information, concrete and reliable information about how to reach the exam centers from their place of residence. Not everyone can afford to travel in hired cars, and they are more likely to be exorbitant given the fact that there is no public transport. So obviously the rates will be jacked up. So all the more reason why public transport is absolutely necessary. If indeed transport is made available, let's assume for a moment that transport is made available, will the chief secretaries of all the states in India ensure that these are sanitized vehicles, sanitized being the operative word, and safe to travel from a health safety point of view? Point number 4, what happens in flood hit areas like Bihar? Now here I want to read out a message written to me on my video by a student from Bihar. His name is Daulat Kumar. He wrote, I'm ready to take the exam, but I have got 2 examination centers, 2 different centers on different dates. Now the rest of the message is in Hindi, but I'll translate it to English. He writes that he lives in a place called Khagaria, and one center where he wants to take the architecture exam is in Darbhanga between 3 PM and 6 PM, and the next morning he says he has to be at Samistapur Samastipur to write the JEE exam. Now on the Google map, when I checked, you would find that the distance between the two towns, Darbhanga and Samastipur, is just about 40 kilometers. But because it is a flood area, the time taken is shown to be between 8 to 10 hours on two different alternate routes. Though one can only hope that between now and between the 1st and the 6th of September, the situation improves if the exams are not postponed and are indeed conducted during the time where it has been scheduled for. Now, the fundamental and the big question I want to raise is, when you're appearing for a big ticket entrance examination like the NEET and the JEE, it's important to create what I call a level playing field. Every student should have the same facility in order to be able to commute from the place of residence to the exam center and back safely and securely, and now in COVID times from a health safety point of view. And that's very important. And if the NTA and the Education Ministry cannot ensure this level playing field to all the candidates, it would be doing gross injustice to many students living in areas like Bihar, for students like Daulat Kumar in Bihar. So that's the point. That's the area where the NTA needs to clarify if it continues to insist that it will not postpone the examinations and conduct it in the month of September. Thank you very much for watching.